To build the city of the future, Tokyo is a difficult place to start. It is incredibly dense, an organic sprawl of streets and structures layered over centuries. To prototype an entirely new kind of urban space, city planners needed a completely blank slate. They found it floating in Tokyo Bay. This is Odaiba, a massive expanse of entirely artificial reclaimed land. The islands were originally constructed in the 1850s by the Tokugawa Shogunate. Known as daiba, which translates to fort or battery, they were built to hold cannons to defend the capital against foreign naval attacks. Look at this map of Tokyo Bay. In the 1980s, planners envisioned a futuristic business hub, but when the 1991 bubble economy burst, property values plummeted. This stranded the newly reclaimed acreage. These vast empty lots sat idle next to a crowded city. Rather than letting the land go to waste, the Tokyo metropolitan government pivoted. They threw out the plans for a serious corporate hub and rebranded the island as a high-tech waterfront entertainment zone. A devastating economic crash accidentally gave Tokyo exactly what it needed: miles of empty, valuable land ready to host the city's wildest urban experiments. Getting to this new playground requires a physical crossing that deliberately separates you from the traditional city. The most prominent path is the Rainbow Bridge. Spanning the bay, it functions as a high-capacity transport artery and a glowing visual gateway that signals you are leaving the mainland behind. But the best way across is the Yurikamome line. This transit system glides directly over the water and loops through the island skyline. There is no driver in the front car. The entire network is fully automated, operating on rubber tires instead of steel tracks. For visitors, stepping onto a robotically controlled train is the first tangible interaction with Odaiba's high-tech premise. The planners took what would normally be a standard urban commute and engineered it into a deliberate, futuristic transition, isolating you in a completely different world. Once you arrive, the skyline looks nothing like the rigid, utilitarian office blocks of Shinjuku or Marunouchi. Odaiba favors bold, monumental geometry. The most striking example is the Fuji Television Broadcasting Center, which anchors the island's waterfront. The network commissioned Kenzo Tange, one of Japan's most celebrated architects, to design the structure. This wireframe blueprint shows the building's most ambitious feature: a 32-meter-wide, 1,350-ton sphere suspended between two massive towers. Hoisting this in an active seismic zone requires specialized support corridors and shock-absorbing pathways built directly into the grid to keep the deck stable. The experimentation goes beyond physical steel. Odaiba is also home to vast, boundary-erasing digital environments like the Team Lab Borderless and Planets museums and the advanced robotics exhibits at Mirakan. Outside, pop culture and mechanical engineering merge perfectly in the form of a 19.7-meter-tall, fully motorized Unicorn Gundam statue that physically transforms throughout the day. From the concrete frames of its broadcast towers to the digital code running its art installations, the architecture of Odaiba abandons everyday utility in favor of total immersive spectacle. In just a few decades, Odaiba evolved from a barren, failed real estate venture into one of Tokyo's most heavily visited destinations. It now serves as an international stage, hosting massive global events, including triathlon and swimming competitions during the 2020 Summer Olympics. That global openness stands in sharp contrast to the island's original construction in the 1850s. There is a profound irony at the heart of this island. These artificial land masses were built with cannons specifically to keep the outside world away from Tokyo. A century and a half later, they form the exact foundation to invite the world in. Odaiba is the ultimate testament to Tokyo's capacity for reinvention. It is a space where the city took its biggest failures and historical defenses and transformed them into a place to prototype and inhabit the future.